Hi friends, it's Auntie Cuckoo, and today I'm answering your questions. I asked you guys under the community tab if you had any questions for me, and you guys came up with 20 great questions. So let's get right into it. So this is from Margaret, and she says, how long were you able to work before you had to quit because of your MS? What areas did you specialize in? So for those of you that don't know me, I was a nurse before becoming a stay-at-home mom. So that's the answer to the first question. I actually did not stop working because of my MS. I started working because I had 3 kiddos in 5 years, and that was sort of always our plan for our family. I specialized in training our new hires. So when I first started working as a nurse, I worked in all different kinds of areas because I was just hungry for knowledge, and I loved that so much they decided to cross-train me to all departments, and anytime we had a new nurse come in, I got to train them. I really liked that because it was always something new, from labor and delivery to outpatient surgery, the med surge, ICU, pediatrics, you name it, I've done it. Okay, number 2. Let's see. Is there a meaning behind your YouTube name? Do you work outside the home or just YouTube? What inspires you? Saving money inspires me. I do not work outside the home. The kids and their activities keep me busy enough. And the main question is, what's the meaning behind your YouTube name? So that's the question I get all the time. My nephew Andrew used to call cookies cuckoos, and I used to give them as many cuckoos as they wanted, so he dubbed me Auntie Cuckoo. It just kind of stuck within our family because, for those of you that know my personality, you know I'm a little bit crazy. So I just became Auntie Cuckoo, and the rest is history. Number 3, how did you transition from being an RN to a stay-at-home mom? Have you always been so crafty? Yes, I've always been so crafty. The transitioning was a little bit hard. I just wanted to stay busy, and then I started a little burp cloth business because I was in the throes of motherhood with little ones over my shoulder, and for a while I had a little business called Burper Buddies where I would make these really cute flannel burp cloths, and I'd sell them at boutiques and just little holiday shops, and that kept me very busy. Number 4, what is your go-to family meal to cook? The easiest, fastest go-to for our family is taco salad, and that's not something I grew up having, it's something my husband grew up having, so I know that he'll never turn it away. And it just consists of ground turkey cooked up with taco seasoning on top of your choice of chips. You could do Fritos or Doritos, lettuce, tomato, and cheese. Super fast and easy. Let's see. What prompted you to start a YouTube channel? So, we decided to get rid of cable. And prior to that, I grew up in a household where the TV was always on. I wasn't necessarily watching it, but I would listen to the news in the background or maybe repeats of episodes of things that I love, like Friends and Seinfeld and Everybody Loves Raymond. And we just decided to get rid of it one day. So I just started watching YouTube videos on hauls, I believe, because I've always loved the Dollar Tree and the 99-cent store and Target and Walmart. So one thing led to another, and I wanted to share all the things I find. I think my first video was a Target Dollar Spot Christmas haul, and that was 2 years ago. You always talk about your kids, but I'd like to know how many kids you have and what are their ages. So we have 3 children, and they are 16, 14, and 11. Our girl is in the middle, so we have boys on either end. Does your husband ever get crafty with you, and does he have any suggestions to add? My husband is wonderful. He really is. I I married a gold mine. He's the most patient, calm, supportive person you could ever imagine. And he is very skilled with tools, and he grew up in a house where they did a lot of construction. So I have a lot of vision, and I'll just kind of draw it out for him. And then he's just kind of my go-to guy. He loves working with wood. He does not do that for a living. He's very much in technology, and so anytime he gets to step out of that and enjoy some carpentry, he loves it, and I love it even more. The Owens Witches says, I have an autoimmune disease and I find it impossible to keep up. How do you do it? I don't always do it. So I do have multiple sclerosis. For those of you that don't know, I have had it for going on 10 years. And there are days that you guys don't see me, and those are my down days. When I'm feeling good, I get up and I go about my business. When I'm not, I do what I need to take care of myself so that I can take care of my family. Where are you from? I am from Southern California, born and raised with the exception of a year that my parents moved to Northern Florida. Are your decorating styles influenced by anyone? So I was raised with very meager means, and we were poor. So we would do things like dumpster dive, take things off the side of the road meant for the trash, and paint them to make them our own. So I've always had that mentality, and it's still sort of who I am and how I operate. So I would have to say the price tag is what influences me. If there's something that I see that is in my budget that I know I can work with, then I've got my eye on it. Where did Auntie Cuckoo come from? And are you originally from California? Just told you guys it was my nephew, and yes, born and raised. You always seem so put together. How do you do it? What's your routine? My routine is when I'm feeling good, I get up and I get out, and that kind of was answered by the other question. When I'm having a bad day, those are the days that I'm not feeling well, so I'm not gonna pick up the camera and do any kind of filming. So it's just kind of perfect for me because I have days when I just can't get out of bed, and then I have days when I feel great, like today. Do you work? Do you make vlog videos? I do not vlog, and that's kind of the answer why. There are days that with MS, your vision can be affected, your walking can be affected, and those are reasons why I love doing these videos for you guys. I love filming shop with me's because there was a time when I was bedridden and I could not have gone out shopping. So when I hear from those of you who are not able to get out and about that it makes your day, it makes my day so much more. What is your secret to decorating? Because you do it so well. Also, can you show us how you make your beautiful bows and swags with ribbon? That's really funny to me. I'm not a good bow maker at all. I make a lot of cheer bows. I have a cheerleader. I've been making them for 8-9 years. So really everything I know is because of making cheer bows. I can definitely show you guys how I make my bows, but it's not impressive. And the first part of that question was, what is your secret to decorating? You do it so well. Well, thank you. The secret behind my decorating is that I stay true to myself. I don't know if you guys have noticed, but I like the rustic look, but I do live in California close to the beach. So I don't feel like it really suits me or my family to have, you know, farmhouse, barnyard animals everywhere. Now, if you love that, you do you. But I have always sort of known right off the bat what I like and what I don't like. And maybe that's the secret to it. But the truth is, if I like something and it's out of my budget, I don't like it anymore. What is something that has surprised you since you've been on YouTube? Quite a few things have surprised me. I would say the first two, and my family would completely agree, is that so many of you say my voice is calming and soothing. Now, no one likes to hear their own voice, and to see yourself on camera is mortifying. But so many of you have said that my voice is calming and relaxing. My kids totally disagree because I'm telling them to pick their socks up off the floor and make their bed and do their homework. So that's number one. Number two is how much is on YouTube. There are all kinds of communities, from crafting to DIYs and decorating, but there's vloggers. I just have been so surprised. And sometimes when we have a question about a school project with the kids, we'll just look it up on YouTube. Here's a question from Jill. How much time do you dedicate to YouTube a week? And do any of your family members help out behind the scenes? Definitely depends on how I'm feeling physically. There are weeks where I do maybe 2 hours, and then there are times during the holidays when I'm excited and I have the energy to do it that I'll spend 2 hours a day. It just really depends. Just recently, I have started teaching our oldest, who is very artsy and very technically inclined, how to help me edit. So we'll see where that goes. Here's a question from Franken Girl. Favorite craft you've ever made? Definitely my 2-tiered tray that I made during Easter last year. It was a Dollar Tree DIY, and it withheld for like 8 months. It just recently came apart, and that's my fault because I dropped it. It's actually currently on my kitchen table behind this camera in a different version. And the reason I love that one is that I bought candlesticks to make it and they broke, and I was still able to make it. I'll link it down below for you guys. Here's a question from Sister Smokey. When you decorate for a holiday, how do you decide the composition of your decorations, as in what goes where and why? Also, why don't you show anything for Hanukkah when you do your holiday shopping tours? Well, I can tell you right away, this year I have found next to nothing for Hanukkah. Last year I actually did a Hanukkah shop with me, and it was at both Target and Walmart. I don't know if just how the dates fell this year, because Christmas seems a little later to me, with having that extra week between Thanksgiving and December, had anything to do with things hitting the stores. But I did plan on doing it this year, and I just didn't find anything. The first part of your question, I don't really plan. I mean, this year we had decided, last year was busy with travel, that we were gonna do the gingerbread again in the cupboard. So that I just already knew, and I get bored very easily. We live in a really small house, and so to keep things fresh, I like to change where I put things. So last year I had bells on my mantle, so I knew this year I wanted to find somewhere new. So it's just kind of craziness. Where in California do you live? Are you a beach city? How long have you lived in your city? If you could live anywhere in the US, where would you live and why? So yes, I live in California. Yes, I live near the beach. We have lived here for 16 years. Prior to this, we lived an hour north of here. And if you could live anywhere in the US, I think we would probably go to Washington State or Oregon. We have been to Washington State, and what I have seen of Oregon, it's just beautiful. Our last question comes from Sarah. Where is your favorite place to shop? And what is your favorite holiday? Do you have any special traditions? My favorite place to shop, surprise, surprise, my first video and the ones that you guys seem to like the most, the Target dollar spot, because I love decor and I don't want to spend a lot on it, and you can find things there that are really great deals. Definitely runner-up would be Walmart and Dollar Tree, followed very closely by Hobby Lobby. My favorite holiday has actually always been Easter, so I just love the change of that season, and I do really well in the spring, which isn't always true for people with MS, but I just love it. I love the colors, and I think because I like a lot of darker colors in my home, switching it up for spring always just kind of makes me a little happy. Any traditions? Well, for Christmas, something that we do in our home that my husband grew up doing is writing Bible verses on all the gifts for the kids. It gets them to open their Bible, and it's really funny the things that you can drop a hint on a gift with that are a Bible verse. So if you guys enjoyed this, please let me know down below, and if you have any more questions for me, leave them in the comments and I'll be sure to do another Q&A real soon. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you back very soon. Now we have sirens. I live near a hospital. Why am I whispering? I'm in my own home. I think they're gone. What happened? I hope I didn't do this whole Q&A without it being recording.